Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well and happy Friday to you. Well, is silver now better than gold in 2025? Now,
Good
yes,
evening. Good evening,
it's
everyone. I
amazing
hope
that the
everyone
gold
is
has
well
hit
and
the
happy Friday to
$3,000
you.
mark and
Well,
it's going to be going up.
is
But
silver
silver
now
has
better
also
than gold
gone up
in
slightly as well.
2025? Now,
And remember,
yes,
I
it's
mentioned
amazing that the
about the
gold has hit
dark
the
horse, about the
$3,000
tortoise
mark and it's going to be
and the
going
hare.
up. But
And I
silver
believe
has also gone up slightly
that,
as well. And remember,
apologies for that,
I
I
mentioned
believe that the
about the
tortoise
dark
is
horse,
the one
about
that's
the
going to
tortoise
win the race.
and the hare.
So let me
And
just
I
go
believe
further into this
that,
because it seems to be doubling up on me.
for that,
So I'm
I
just going to
believe
put
that the
this mute on
tortoise
and tell me if you can still hear me or not. Let's have a look here. I'm just going to see if I can hear myself because I haven't got any team members here. So I'm just going to check for myself and then I'll be able to continue. So just bear with me. Just make sure I've got my OBS on. Let's just check, make sure I haven't clicked the wrong one. I'm on the right one. Testing, testing. Excellent. So that is on. So let me see if I can hear myself. So I'm just going to test. I'm going live. And I just want to make sure that I can hear myself. Because for some reason it was, can you, if you're in the chat, can you let me know that you can hear me clearly? Because something is loading up here and I'm not quite sure. So I'm just going to check with one of the team members. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to message. Because I'm not sure if you can hear me, so you haven't put anything in the chat there. Let me know that you can hear me clearly. Because I didn't want the two sounds to be going on, because that wouldn't be good for recording. I'm just going to make a quick call. Apologies for this. Yes, just to see if I'm live and you can hear me, because I could hear my other mic. I could hear two mics going on. All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye. I think possibly I might have to unplug this second mic. It's not doing me any favors. So just bear with me. I do apologize about this. This is something which is, these things happen from time to time, I suppose. I just want to because if can you hear me? Yes, the sound is fine. Brilliant. Excellent. So I managed to sort that out. Yay. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Well, silver is now better than gold. And wow, are we onto something amazing? And I'm going to share with you some amazing things. So please do stay to the end, because what I've got to share with you, it's something which is going to be incredible. So I hope everyone is well. I'm going to go into the reason why I think that silver is better than gold. So what if I was to tell you that silver, yes, silver is the most undervalued asset in today's economy, and it could be more valuable than gold? Whilst the world fixates on gold, and yes, gold has reached $3,000, which is amazing, and I'm not saying gold isn't good and you shouldn't buy it, because it is going up. For example, it is just shooting up. Billion-dollar industries like Tesla, Apple, and the solar panel sectors are silently driving silver demand to sky high, because the true worth is hidden really in plain sight. Imagine, right, like Superman, right? And he has his special powers that he gets from silver. But it wasn't silver with Silverman, was it? With Superman. But imagine that you're a Superman and you're doing really well and you're a billionaire and you get your power from silver, but yet it's the most undervalued and the least seen. And I've just put a golden stone up there, in all honesty, there. But imagine silver. This silver is worth billions to people like those that do the electric cars, Elon Musk, to people that do Apple, for example, to people that make the cars, like I said. This silver is worth billions to them. Something which you can buy for $35. I believe it's going up to $40 now, actually, because it's changed. The market has changed slightly, which is really good news. But imagine, right? Silver has made many industries wealthy, billionaires. We all know, everybody knows Elon Musk. Everyone knows Apple, for example, Tesla. Everyone knows solar panels, where you get silver from. That's the one that generates. There's the energy, renewable energy. The list is endless, really. There's now the manufacturing, the industries that involves silver in order to function, in order to make a profit. Why is that so low? Why? I don't understand that. If that can produce so much money, then why is it so low? But it's not going to be low for very long, because now that gold is going up so high, it's making it so that people are going to start looking at silver and buying silver, because we can't really rely at the moment on the currencies, can we? We can't rely on the cash, for example. So imagine that you are able to buy silver coins, silver bars, for example, and save it for a number of years, for example, and it can make you wealthy. Let me tell you, we know this already, so it's not like I'm not telling you anything new. People have made billions from silver. Literally, billions. They've become billionaires from silver. So I'm going to be diving into this, so please do stay with me, because this is an explosive potential for you to skyrocket your silver business, for example, buy in silver. So could silver true value be really brought into plain sight? I believe it is starting to be brought into plain sight right now, for example, because we are seeing how gold is going up in price, for example. We are seeing at the moment gold is at 3,000 or just over 3,000, for example, on the stock market, that is. Silver is now at $40 per ounce, for example. Imagine. But that silver has made people billionaires, literally. So don't you think they're probably a bit worried now that we know about this gold and this silver? The governments all around the world, the banks all around the world, the wealthy all around the world are buying gold and silver. They're not just buying gold, they're actually buying silver. So now this is driving up the price of silver. And as I said, gold usually does drag silver along with it. Silver has been the poor relative, but really it's not, because that silver has made people billionaires. Whether you like them or not, they've been able to become a billionaire through this simple product, silver. Imagine. So this is a fascinating subject for me anyway. And I want to really talk to you why silver is more valuable than gold is, really. We're seeing gold at $3,000 per ounce and silver is at $35 per ounce. But the financial people, the analysis, finance investors, for example, dealers, for example, in gold and silver, silver is going to 9x or more. It's going to explode. There is not enough. There is not enough to keep building and building and building and building and building when there's no mines to build from. Because silver has been around for 5,000 years, for example. Comes from the ground. Gold has been around for 5,000 years, for example, comes from the ground. It's not man-made like money is man-made. And it's devalued. Silver and gold holds its price. They say that they say that gold stands the test of time. And it does. It does. There's no doubt about it. So if you are an investor, entrepreneur, or simply someone interested in wealth building, we need to do it now. Even though we're going through this recession, put at least $40, $50 to buy a coin or something, silver, for example. If you can't afford to buy gold, start building your wealth there. Listen, if Elon Musk can do it, that's how he's got his money through, become a billionaire, is really through that material, silver. If he didn't have that silver, what would have happened? Do you think he would have become a billionaire with that silver? Do you think? I'd love to know your comments in the chat. I'd love to know what you think about that. Do you think that Apple could have made their fortune without silver? Do you think the tech industries would have made their fortune without silver? And yes, gold did used to be in computers, but I'm referring to silver, for example. Do you think that electronic vehicles would have been able to be around today without silver? The silver mine is dry. It really is drying up. And that's why everyone's like buying gold and silver, because they know that this is the financial currency. Gold and silver, the true financial currency is gold and silver. The paper money is man-made and it doesn't last for long. Just like we don't last for long. And it changes in value. Whereas gold and silver, it holds its value and it increases. Now, what I want to say to you is look at the hidden value in silver, because this is really what today's video is about. Because we're all jumping and raving on about gold, for example, and yay, it's reached 3,000 today, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, it is truly amazing. But what I think is even more amazing, you can buy a silver coin for like $40. It was 30, then it went up to 35, and it's now $40, for example. So you can see it is going up like 10%, for example. That is good. That's a good return, and it'll probably be 20% next month, for example. So don't think that it's not worth anything, because something which you can build and have long term. Because at the end of the day, when it comes time to our savings, the percentage we get is how much. When it comes time to pension, we truly don't know the amount that we're going to actually get when that time comes. So it'd be good to have some backup measures, for example. Now I'll go into some other ways, for example, to get started, okay? Because even if you spend $40, for example, buying scrap gold or silver, it's going to be good as well, for example. But I'll get into that. So let's talk about how silver is so cheap compared to gold. But yeah, it's made people billionaires, hasn't it? The gold to silver ratio is an historic high. Okay? It's signaling, for example, the silver's true value, the potential that it has. So unlike gold, silver is heavily used in the manufacturing. So they've been using it a lot. It gets used when things get used, and you keep using it and you're not building. For example, it's like if you was to keep chopping down trees, there'd be no trees. We'd all perish, wouldn't we, for example? So this is the reason why I'm speaking to you in this way, to look at the silver as a valuable asset as well, because it has massive potential. It can grow your business, for example. It can create wealth whether you use it for personal use, for example. Whereas with, for example, there's sellers that are really looking at it at silver is actually going really high, for example. I mean, silver is actually being used as well to go to the moon, for example. We all know that spaceships and NASA and things like that. So industries that need silver to make billions, and I'm going to explain this to you so that you know the true value of silver, for example. So the industries that need silver to make billions is Elon Musk, Tesla, and his EV batteries, amongst other things, Apple, iPhones, laptops, tech innovation, medical and aerospace industries, solar panels, renewable energy. So could silver prices skyrocket? So here's what some experts say, for example. And one analyst predicted silver could double or triple in price as demand outspaces supply. With inflation rising, silver is a safe haven asset in these uncertain times because money, the value goes down really, really low. But if you've got gold or silver, for example, the coins or the bars, you still got money to buy things with, for example. It can help for your nest pension, for example. It can help for if you want to go on holiday. It can help towards a house. It can help towards a wedding. It can help towards, a gift, for example. It can help towards your business. If you are facing a financial difficulty, it can help you in your business. So it is a safe asset to have in these uncertain times. And if you haven't started buying gold or silver, then you need to do it now, really, whilst the prices as low as they are. And it depends what you can actually afford as well. Okay, it's just a suggestion that I'm making. I'm not saying to spend everything you've got. I'm not saying that at all, but be sensible, for example, because it is an investment. It's something that you look to for when you do need to reach that resource. That's why all of this, they call it silver drainage, and gold being shipped, taken out of the London reserves, going over to America or wherever it is that people have decided, wealthy people have decided, hey, I want my gold back. I want my silver back. I don't know what's going to happen. The money's going down, so I need to be able to have access to this quickly. Whereas it is taking weeks, if not months, for a delivery, depending on the size of the items of gold or silver that you want delivered from these reserves. That's if you had gold and silver in these reserves, for example. So I don't want you to miss out, because I believe it's the best, and others are saying this. Okay, so don't just take my word for it. It's the best investment of the decade, and how you can get ahead before the price explodes. So what do you think? Drop a comment below and let me know. Will silver overtake gold in value? I believe it will. Are you investing in silver this year? And it's so nice to hear that some of you are, those that have commented said that you're investing in silver. And I think it's a good idea, because look, these billionaires, they're investing in silver. It can't be a bad idea because they're very wealthy. They're not, you don't hear them saying I'm invested in gold. they're investing in silver. It's like a hidden secret that this silver, it's like it's kryptonite for them, for example. And I'm using this as a metaphor, that silver to those billionaire companies is like kryptonite. Imagine, without that kryptonite, what would happen to their business? I just wanted you to see the strong example, because they would not be investing in silver if it was worthless. It's worth a lot of money to them. They're billionaires from it. And you can also have some income from it, build some wealth from it. Because I believe this is going to be like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise is the silver and the hare is the gold. And we know who won the race, and that was the tortoise. But there's two sides to the hare and the tortoise story, if they worked well together. Because remember, the gold can also carry along silver to the same level, and if not more, of the value of what that gold is. And in the tortoise and the hare story, there's a nice story, whereas if the, for example, if the tortoise carried the hare on its back, then they could have won the race together, for example. And this is what I'm talking to you about, that if we talk and help one another, then everybody wins. It's not just for the wealthy, it's for everybody. It is from the ground. It's created from the ground. And we should have some of that too. So, if you're enjoying what I'm saying, subscribe for the latest insights in wealth building and financial freedom, and also recovery strategies as well. If you're in business, for example, I talked about last year. I talked about it where I was having the challenges, for example, the CEO challenges, the trainings, etc. And I said we need to start from last year. We need to start saving a small amount for a crisis fund, ready for when we are hit by inflation, for example. So, silver versus gold. It's a changing market. I'm seeing how things could switch quite quickly. Like creep up on you, just like the tortoise did with the hare, for example, because the hare decided to take a nap because it was like, I'm way ahead here. And the tortoise snuck by and won. So the industry, unlike gold, silver has a dual role, and it's got precious metal as well as industrial commodity. Industrial demand is driving silver value. So large industries like EV manufacturers, electric vehicle manufacturers, tech giants, and renewable energy firms rely heavily on silver. So like Elon Musk, Tesla, for example, Apple, solar panel manufacturers require silver for their technology. Medical devices need silver as well. So the demand for silver in these industries is skyrocketing while supplies struggle to keep up. That's what's going to happen. It's happening now because people are, the reserves are being drained, literally. Gold and silver, for example. They call it silver drainage. So unlike gold, whether it's, a lot of people are hoarding this largely, okay? So silver isn't really being hoarded as much, but it's starting to. It's starting to get noticed. People are noticing silver more. And silver is consumed in the manufacturing process, especially now with AI, the chips to do the robots, for example, the data centers. This is what, and the renewable energy, it's going to just speed it up faster to where there'll probably be no silver left. Because let's face it, I've never seen a silver mine, even though there is one, but there's probably not much left silver there. So it's probably going to appear somewhere. Someone will probably find some somewhere in the world, but I don't know where it is. And let me know if anyone else knows of where these silver mines are, for example. But silver is consumed, like I said, in the manufacturing processes. And we never really thought how valuable silver could be if we had a product that we used or that we saved, and that would make that valuable, for example. So what is the potential for silver? Price explosion. Many institutions and investors have taken significant positions on silver. They're betting against its rise. A sudden surge in demand or supply triggers a massive squeeze, driving silver price rapidly. I believe it's just going to shoot past gold. I know that seems like hard to comprehend, but I'm not saying anytime soon, but you're seeing it's growing. Have a look for yourself. So in 2021, we saw retail investors attempt to push silver higher, revealing its vulnerability of the market. Today, it is a major rally in silver prices. Inflation, currency fluctuation, and silver. So with the central banks, for example, printing, they don't really want to keep printing this money. It's causing inflation to rise. Investors are looking for tangible assets. Silver, being more affordable than gold, offers an accessible hedge against inflation. So in times of economic uncertainty, it becomes even more attractive and also used as a safe haven, as an asset. So the market shift, stocks, real estate, and even cryptocurrencies have been inflating in value due to excessive liquidity, which can create and has created it to burst the bubble. So investors will start to move their capital into safer assets like silver, for example. There's billionaires that are selling their assets, property, for example, their stocks and shares, to look at this market. If they're doing it, we certainly need to jump and get on with it as well. Because silver it has held its value for centuries and being used as money and a medium form of exchange. Remember years ago they'd have like a cash, well, those sachet things, a bag full of coins. And they'd say, here's 2 coins for this, for example, or here's a bag of gold for this, for example, or I'll give you 5 bags of gold, whatever it is, for example. That's how trading was done back then. During the 2008 financial crisis, silver price spiked as investors sought protection from collapsing market. So silver market, for example, I'll give you a story. There's the Hunt brothers story. In the late 1970s, the Hunt brothers attempted to corner the silver market, pushing prices to nearly $50 per ounce. This was back in 1970. The lack of lender of last resort for silver means that it's more susceptible to extreme price savings. Understanding post manipulations helps investors anticipate future price movements. Check out the Hunter brothers, for example, the Hunt brothers. So silver inventories and market trends is a significant movement of silver from London to New York. So silver was moved in mass from London to New York, reflecting rising investor demand. So as silver inventory decline, supply constraints could push up prices higher, for example. So some analysts are predicting that silver could see substantial gains in the coming months due to the increasing industrial use and investment demand. So it's got a dual purpose. So it's like double. It's being sucked up in both ways. So silver presents you and us with a unique opportunity for investing. Looking to diversify your investment and your wealth building with increasing industrial demand, potential short squeezes, the economic uncertainty, tariffs, etc., silver value could rise significantly. Now, this is the time to pay attention and to look at silver as an investment, as an asset. So, what do you think about silver right now? Is it something that you're already doing and purchasing? I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the chat. For example, I'm going to be giving away our free guide to how you can start your own scrap gold business. And I'm going to discuss that with you right now, is that you can actually start your own scrap gold business and you can turn it into something really amazing. And you can purchase gold, scrap gold, old jewelry, for example, or silver, scrap silver on the, eBay, online. You can hold gold and silver parties, for example. And in the link here, you'll be able to see one of my free gifts that I want to give away, which is your free guide to how to start your own gold silver business. This is something that I did back in 2007, and I shouldn't have stopped really, because it would have been amazing today if I continued with that. But my passion is care, for example. That's where I come from. So if you are not able to purchase gold, or because gold is about 3,000, just over $3,000 now for an ounce. So silver currently at the moment is $45 per ounce, for example, but it's going to increase as each week goes along, for example. Like I said, it's going to be the dark horse that we didn't really expect for this to happen. But like I said, you can hold your own, where you can buy scrap gold or scrap silver and turn them into coins or turn them into gold bars, like what I did when I was doing my scrap gold business many years ago in 2007. It's something which you could do. You can give it a go, see what it's like for you. I am going to be doing some videos about how to buy silver, how to buy gold, and then eventually how to run your own gold and silver party, for example, even down to having it smelted by a refinery, for example. And then they melt the gold down or silver down and put them as gold bars, for example, and then you're able to collect your gold bar or silver bar, and you've just paid a small fee, for example. There's lots of ways that you can get around this, because like I said, plenty of billionaires have been created through silver. It's like their kryptonite. So can you imagine if they didn't have it, what it would do to them? If they didn't have silver, would they be in the position that they're in today? No, they wouldn't, would they? Because they wouldn't have that product, for example. Those products wouldn't be there. So it would become like a kryptonite for them, because it would destroy their business, wouldn't it, if they didn't have silver? So I wanted to give you a different take on, is silver now better than gold? It depends what you do with it, whether you hold it, whether you keep it, and whether you use it for your business. Either way, silver, I believe, is going to end up being better than gold. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's discussion on silver, for example, and gold. And join me tomorrow live at 7:15 p.m. UK time, for example. I believe some parts in America that you've had the clocks go back, I believe, for example. So check that out. But like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you will get notification of when I've gone live. All right, so I hope that you found that helpful today, and I look forward to further discussions with you all. And thank you so much for being here. I also want to say thank you to all of you that's been subscribing to the channel, and also thank you for being a part of this and listening to me. And I hope that you're going to be able to enjoy watching this if you're coming in now and watching and listening, for example, because I want you to be able to buy your own gold and silver and to turn it into something truly amazing for you, for your future. That's what I want, because It's made people billionaires, for example. Silver. Not the gold, but the silver. So it's truly, truly valuable. It is worth billions because it's achieved so much for wealthy people, for example. Just the same as gold has as well. How much gold is today? 3,000 for an ounce? My goodness. When I was doing, I think it was about $45 for an ounce. If I saved those bars that I had back then, for example, I could have quite easily have had 500,000, but I don't. I don't have any bars. So, but I want you to really think about it. I'm going to be sharing with you some more strategies, for example, so that you can create your own gold business if you want to, if you choose to. But what I would say to you is to start buying gold and silver now, whilst the market is good and whilst you're still able to earn and make a good income from the gold and silver, for example, because with this gold and silver, you're going to grow to another level. Depends how long you keep it for, and it will grow and it will not devalue. The value will go up, for example. So can you imagine, after 5 years, what your gold will be worth and what your silver will be worth, for example? The gold, they're saying, could go up to 5,000 an ounce, 10,000 per ounce, 15,000 per ounce, 20,000 per ounce, for example. That is huge. Absolutely huge. So imagine silver is going to then be 800 per ounce, for example. And it could even go up to 2,000, 3,000 per ounce. But it's a lot cheaper than buying gold. But like I said, imagine those billionaires that rely on silver. Without silver, it's like their kryptonite. Their business will no longer exist without silver. So this is why I keep saying that silver is more valuable, because people have become billionaires through silver, whether it's through AI, whether it's through solar panels, whether it's through EV, batteries, electronic vehicles, for example, whether it's through technology, whether it's through the chips that are used for AI, for example, data centers, manufacturing, industries, medical equipment, all of these things. And silver is a dual role. So silver to me is more valuable than gold because it has a dual purpose. So, like I said, thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. And thank you for listening this evening to me. There is a free gift here where you can download how to start your own gold silver business free of charge. Also, book a free 15-minute appointment if you do have the time, for example, to discuss more. We are going to have a gold and silver bootcamp, for example. So if you want to join us online for that, we do charge for a fee, for example, where you can learn about how to do your own gold and silver party business or scrap gold business, for example, it's worthwhile doing. It really is. So I hope that you've had a wonderful evening listening to me today, and thank you for your time. And I will be online here tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Thank you. Goodbye.